Shalom, family. It's good to see everybody here. You know, things are not looking good globally. And these are things I know some people think, I don't pay attention to that. But really, this time around, because of the tariffs, it really truly is significant. Not to mention the fact, Wall Street really determines how many of us spend our money, with things going up and down in prices. But for us, it's up. It's not going to go in any direction as far as pricing is concerned. It's only going up. Okay. So Donald Trump said it was going to be painful, but it's going to be painful for us more so than him. Trust me on this. So there are some things, and we're going to talk a little more because some of his tariffs were absolutely ridiculous. Hold on one second here. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so this is what the market looks like, y'all. And this is how, now when I woke up this morning, it was down 1,500 points. I have never seen it down that far before, and now you can see it went down even further, but it was down 1,500 points. I remember during the pandemic, it went down like 1,100 points. It's going well past that now. And it's been in the red just like everybody expected it would. Now, I was not expecting to see everything yesterday because that was the day it hit. I was expecting the big downfall to be the day after, and that's exactly what's happening. You know, when you look at the Wall Street Journal, even the American dollar is down. So yeah, this is crazy what's going on, but it's to be expected because he put out tariffs on virtually every nation across the world. But I want to show y'all how some of his tariffs were absolutely ridiculous and should not have been done at all. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, look, Donald Trump is not here to save the country. Donald Trump is here to destroy. What do we say? They always steal, kill, and destroy. Yeah, that's what he is in office to do, destroy. See, they want life. They want, technically, what they want is for everybody out here to be slaves. And the rich people that are already rich and already living in comfort to have even more. So at the end of the day, it is greed. It is greed. So he's going to be sitting in office padding his pockets and the pockets of his rich buddies. That's his goal. As far as saving this place, come on. Do you really think a man that bankrupt casinos can save this country? Your butt can't save nothing. If you couldn't save your casinos, how the hell are you going to save this country? But you got some of these MAGA idiots that are walking around and believing Donald Trump can save something. And who the hell bankrupts a casino? You know what I mean? This is not the man for the job at all. Yeah, well, Donald Trump was talking about the golden age. Donald Trump cannot bring no golden age to anybody. And these tariffs are not going to bring it. I think he is just wishing for these tariffs to work and they will just instantly work. It's not going to happen. These tariffs are not going to work. And, in my opinion, you're looking at the beginning of America's financial downfall. Now, we know it's already falling, it's been falling for a long time, but I think this is going to be the final nail financially in the coffin of America. So be prepared for anything and just make sure you get as much things in order as you can because it's not looking good. And I was looking at an article last night. Wells Fargo is going to be closing hundreds of thousands of bank accounts. They said these are bank accounts that are not that active, but the fact that they're wiping out these accounts and the money in these accounts too. So don't think there's no money in those accounts that they're wiping out. There's money there, and they're wiping that out as well, which means it's probably going to be very difficult to people that didn't use their account that much to get their money. So just be careful with the kind of things that you do. But it's looking real bad. All right, I got a video that I want you to watch that Rachel Maddow did yesterday. And I want you to hear how ridiculous some of these tariffs actually were. Hold on. Let me put that on the screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Yes, but she made a very good point in this video. You got to hear what she's saying about some of these tariffs that Donald Trump did. Okay, let's go then. All right.
So are you tired of all the winning yet? Are you enjoying all of the greatness? May I introduce you to Tokelau? Tokelau is 3 teeny tiny islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. That's our best approximation on our mapping software here at MSNBC HQ. Tokelau, again, it's 3 islands. It's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. About 1,500 people live there. One of the 3 islands that makes up Tokelau is apparently known for its famous swimming pigs. As for its economy, Tokelau kind of doesn't register on any international scale of economic measures because Tokelau doesn't really have much of an economy. It's basically subsistence, agriculture, and fishing, and enjoying the swimming pigs. Donald Trump just imposed an across-the-board, no exceptions, 10% tariff on Tokelau. Take that, Tokelau bandits. You will screw over the United States of America no longer. May I also introduce you to the Keeling Islands. Keeling Islands are roughly halfway between Australia and Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean. Keeling Islands is 27 islands, but 25 of them are uninhabited. Several of those uninhabited islands have a real plastic trash problem, but that is not because anybody lives there, but because plastic trash from other countries makes its way across the Indian Ocean and washes up there. The 2 islands of the Keeling Islands that are inhabited out of the 27 islands there, those 2 inhabited islands have a total population of 593 people. Well, Donald Trump just declared trade war on the Keeling Islands. All 593 Keeling Islanders will now be hit with an American government 10% tariff that will apply to, anything they might ever want to export here to us. Make it here, Keeling Islands, if you're going to make it. May I introduce you to Jan Mayen Island. It is a volcano, a volcanic island mostly covered in glaciers, hundreds of miles from anything else in the Arctic Ocean. Jan Mayen, I think that's how you say it. It does have an airstrip, but nobody lives there. Population 0 humans, many polar bears. That said, rest assured, we, the American people, are now protected from the predatory economic piracy of that uninhabited island. Thanks to our genius strongman ruler who has put the American government to work, Donald Trump has just slapped a 10% tariff on Jan Mayen Island, just in case anyone ever moves up there and tries to screw us over with their Jan Mayen Island underpriced exports and stuff. On the other end of the world, there's Heard, H-E-A-R-D, Heard Island, and also McDonald Island. They're in Antarctica. They are only reachable by boat, and it takes 2 weeks by sea to get there from Australia. Heard and what's the other one? McDonald Island, sorry. Heard and McDonald Island, I know I don't have to apologize. I'm not offending anybody. They're totally uninhabited, both of them. They're also active volcanoes. So even if you wanted to move there, even the penguins might caution you, right? But they're active volcanoes, one on each island, on both Heard and McDonald Islands. I will say those volcanoes and the penguins and seals who live there, they will never menace the American economy again as they have in the past by flooding us with their cheap exports of what, like fresh air, cool breezes, a waft of eau de penguin? I don't know. What do they send us? The uninhabited Antarctic volcanoes of Heard and McDonald Islands were just slapped by Donald Trump today with a steep 10% tariff. Are you tired of all the winning, America? Can you just feel the practical economic benefits that MAGA leadership is bringing to us at last? Isn't it a relief? Agence France Presse picked up on another one of these as well. This is super genius. Quote, Britain's Falkland Islands, population 3,200 people and around 1 million penguins, got particular punishment from Trump's tariffs today. Quote, the South Atlantic territory was walloped with tariffs of not 10%, but 41% on exports to the United States. 41% tariff on the Falkland Islands because, yeah. Our president waited until late in the day to announce these genius tariffs today. He waited specifically until just after 4 p.m. Eastern time because the financial markets close at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and he didn't want to see that reaction in real time. After the markets close, there's no active trading on the American stock markets, right? But people trade in futures that indicate essentially what they think the markets are going to do when they open up tomorrow. This is the lead right now at CNBC.com explaining how that's going. Quote, U.S. stock futures cratered as President Donald Trump unveiled sweeping tariffs of at least 10% and even higher for some countries, raising the risks of a global trade war that hits the already sputtering U.S. economy. Futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 1,069 points, or 2.5%. S&P 500 futures dropped 3.6%. NASDAQ 100 futures lost 4.5%. Yeah, are you tired of all the winning? Did you vote for the rich guy because you thought he'd be good with money? CNBC quotes Art Hogan, chief market strategist at B. Riley Wealth Management, saying, quote, what was delivered was as haphazard as anything this administration has done to date. And the level of complication on top of the ultimate level of the new tariffs is worse than had been feared and not yet priced into the market. At the New York Times, they described a broad range of economists, quote, revising their forecasts down for growth and up for inflation as a result of Mr. Trump's announcement. Nancy Lazar, chief global economist at Piper Sandler, had previously expected a flat next quarter in terms of U.S. economic growth. She now expects that U.S. economic growth in the second quarter may be negative. It may fall 1%. Quote, because you're going to be increasing prices more aggressively, and it's going to negatively impact the consumer space more than we had anticipated. She said, quote, it's an immediate hit to the economy. And when she says it's going to negatively impact the consumer space, that's where we all live. That's the negatively impacted space, the place where regular humans live and have to spend money on stuff. We, in our office, contacted Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman just after Trump made his announcement today to ask his initial reaction. He told us this, quote, Trump's tariff announcement was full-on crazy. Not only is he imposing higher tariffs than almost anyone expected, but he's justifying them with completely false claims about other countries' tariffs. I don't know where his numbers are coming from, but they have nothing to do with reality. Krugman told us, quote, it's a really bad day for the U.S. economy. Now, here's something interesting. I think a lot of what Trump is trying to do in his style of leadership, as it were, is trying to create not only the impression of success when it's not there, like him saying his first 2 months in office have been perfect, which is hilarious, but he's also trying to create an impression that he is omnipotent, that he has all the power. He has powers that no other president has ever had. He has all the power, and nobody else in the U.S. government, nobody else in the United States of America has any power to do anything of their own, let alone any power to stop him.
The artwork, certainly from a distance, it just looks really.
All right, y'all. So you see, he is, how you doing, Kid Gravity? As you can see, he put tariffs on locations where there were not even people living. So I don't know how those places did any damage or harm to the U.S. or they got more animal population than people population. So I guess the penguins, the seals, and the polar bears got to pay a 10% tariff. You know, it is absolutely scary having someone this reckless in office, for real. And you are getting the damage that you're looking for. Oh, the North Sentinel Islands, they were tariffed too. I remember that place. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, y'all, this is ridiculous. And in all honesty, I don't believe this tariff war should have even been started. If you had issues with a few countries here and there, that's one thing. There is no way the entire globe did harm to the US. That is a load of BS, y'all. There is no way that happened. And I think we got ourselves into an unnecessary mess right now. And it's a mess that we will have to pay, the consumers. We are going to have to pay for this. So as we start getting more and more into spring and then summer, things are going to be astronomical. If there's anything you can do to offset it, grow a garden or try to rack up as much as you can at a farmer's market where things are cheaper, that would be your best bet. Because, I mean, people are already complaining about the price of everything. In fact, I was looking at a story this morning. Canada just went on up on the auto tariffs this morning in retaliation to Donald Trump's tariffs. And I was listening to a video this morning, and this man was saying, and he made a lot of sense. He was like, the prices of automobiles were already crazy before Donald Trump even did these tariffs. So it's going up now. They're saying that the automobiles in this country can go up as high as $15,000 on top of what they cost now because of all these tariffs he put out there. That is absolutely crazy, especially when you look at the price of automobiles even before now. But that's what it's saying, that it can go up $15,000 now because of all these tariffs he put out there. Because now the tariffs on Canada and Mexico are in effect. hmm So he doesn't care about us, y'all. And he's not going to change things. So all we can do is get through it the best that we can. That's all I'm saying. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Please keep yourself on the lookout for my upcoming videos that are coming out. But, Donald Trump think Brit, XOXO, Donald Trump think he is a phenomenal president. In fact, he wants his face on Mount Rushmore. That's where he think he belongs, up there. He think he's a great president. And everything that he's done up until now is just phenomenal. Everything, which is the biggest joke ever. So, y'all, just remember, MAGA, you got to pay the same prices that we have to pay. Never forget that. You're not exempt. Shalom, family.